Carson Carruthers, and I've been a Beachbody coach for a little over 2 years, and it's been a crazy ride. It's been an awesome ride, and I can literally say today that my life is magical, and especially compared to my past. When I was a kid, I thought my life was normal because I didn't have anything to really compare it to. But normal for me was, coming home with some friends and stuff, and my mom would be passed out, drunk and overdosed on pills, and then I'd have to pick her up over my shoulder and rush her to the emergency room. I tend to get emotional, so. She was an addict. She was bipolar and clinically depressed, and suicide was kind of a common word around our household because she tried to commit suicide so many different times. And I remember one time even she was in the hospital. She attempted suicide, and I was at her house, and I don't even know how I found it, but I found boxes. I have 3 brothers, so there's 4 boxes, one for each of us with a note in it, and some like family heirlooms or something like that, explaining why she wanted each of us boys to have whatever it was that she had in the box. So I kind of started trying to distance myself from that, and lived with some friends, and went to high school and went to college and partied, just kind of like a lot of college kids do, but it never stopped after I graduated. And even when I got married, started having kids, it didn't stop, and I never really thought I never thought of myself as an alcoholic during the time, but when I just couldn't stop, when I would start, I couldn't go to a party and just have a drink or something like that. And then it started really affecting my family and my 2 beautiful little daughters. Seeing my wife play with my daughters, and I just would always think, like, why can't I do that? I couldn't have fun doing it. I was just so consumed on how I was going to sneak the alcohol into my system so my wife wouldn't see me. There were some aha moments actually when I'd run, my wife would be giving the girls a bath or something, I'd run to the garage and pull out my bottle of vodka and swig as much as I could before they got out of the bath. This was in Texas, so the garage, and that's about 100-degree vodka that I was drinking. And I would have these aha moments, like that, where I was gagging hot vodka down, and I just couldn't recognize myself. And I would just ask, why am I doing this? And it was just such a selfish disease. And it came to a head where, it was to protect the children. I never physically hurt them or anything like that, but I know now, emotionally, I wasn't there for Chelsea and for my beautiful daughters. So it kind of came to the point to where Chelsea she had to, leave me with the girls to protect them and her. And so I kind of hit my rock bottom, and I told Chelsea, I mean, it really was my rock bottom. And I told Chelsea, whatever it is you want me to do, I will do it. I promise. And so she said, you're going to see a counselor. We're going to call a counselor. You're going to go see a counselor. I said, okay. And you're going to go to rehab. I said, okay. And so that's when I found out that I am bipolar and have depression also, and that I had been self-medicating for all these years. And I always, judged my mom for the things that she did, and then I kind of, realized that I was in the same boat. And my mom, unfortunately, never was able to overcome that. And like Chelsea said, last year, she attempted suicide again, and I had to fly up to Spokane because she was on ventilators and stuff and make the decision. So I had to go up to Spokane and make the decision to pull her off life support or not. So I said goodbye to my mom, and definitely have a new appreciation for people who suffer with mental illness. And it really is a real disease, and I've kind of been growing into a position of bringing that out to others and making people more aware that a lot more of us do suffer with mental illness, but there's hope. There is hope. And I found that hope through taking my wife's advice, going to rehab, seeking counseling, and we decided that I also really needed to replace that bad habit and addiction with something positive, and that's where we found fitness, nutrition, Beachbody, and it was something that we were really able to throw ourselves into. And before I always had a smile on my face, but that was just a facade. I was on blood pressure medication. My triglycerides were just out of this world. Cholesterol was horrible. Depressed, sad, constantly thinking just of myself. And once I was able to make that change and incorporate exercise and nutrition, it's so powerful, it's so unbelievable what it did to my life and to my family's life. It says it all right there, but I can't be happier. Being a Beachbody coach has put me into a position to help other people and find other people that kind of have suffered similar situations that I kind of went through, and I'm able to understand. And that's what's so awesome about Beachbody, is that we all have our own story to tell. Mine might be depression and alcoholism and all of that, but somebody else, might be something completely different, but it's still a struggle. And it's still something that you or they have to overcome, and you're going to be able to relate to other people that wouldn't relate to me. And that's what I find so awesome about Beachbody, is that no matter who you are, you can be a very successful Beachbody coach. When I say successful, I don't mean money or anything like that or rank. I mean, if you help one person, overcome what I was able to overcome and change their life, just because you shared something that can truly help them, that's success. That'll be success, and that'll be something you'll remember for the rest of your life, and they will hold you in reverence, forever, for what you brought to them, because you weren't afraid to share it with them. But that's my story.